26-year-old single mother, Sofia Martinez, entered Madrid's most luxurious jewelry store with her 3-month-old baby in her arms and wearing a worn-out hoodie. All the customers looked at her with disdain. "I want to sell this ring," she said in a trembling voice to the owner, Mateo Ruiz, showing the only memento of her grandmother. "I need money for baby formula." The ring was worth 0 euros, but Sofia didn't know that. What happened next shocked not only Sofia, but everyone in the store. For sometimes, behind a gesture of despair lies a destiny that will forever change 2 lives, and the ring Sofia was about to sell held a secret capable of shaking the foundations of one of Spain's wealthiest families. On Serrano Street in Madrid, Sofia Martinez, 26, nervously walked down the city's most expensive street, clutching her 3-month-old son Lucas to her chest. Her gray hoodie was worn, her sneakers dirty, and her black hair tied back in a messy ponytail, betraying days of fatigue and anxiety. Little Lucas cried softly, a weak, piercing wail that tore at Sofia's heart. For 2 days, she hadn't had any baby formula, and the child had only been drinking sweetened water. Her bank balance was 0, and her last waitress's salary hadn't even covered the rent for her studio on the outskirts. "Quiet, my love," Sofia whispered, kissing her son's forehead. "Mommy will find a way." She stopped in front of the window of Ruiz's son's jewelry store, one of Madrid's most exclusive establishments. Behind the armored glass, diamond necklaces sparkled, their value exceeding what Sofia could earn in a lifetime. From her pocket, she pulled out a small gold ring with a tiny emerald setting in the center, the only memory of her grandmother Elena, who had died when Sofia was just 16. The ring had always seemed beautiful to her, but nothing special. She didn't know that the emerald was real, and the ring itself dated back to 1920, making it worth a fortune. "Forgive me, Grandma. Little Lucas," she whispered through tears, looking at the ring. "But you need to eat." She pushed open the door of the jewelry store and entered. The contrast was stark and overwhelming. Inside was a temple of luxury: white marble, soft lighting, air-conditioned display cases. The few customers, elegant ladies with designer bags and men in sharp suits, turned to look at the young mother, who clearly did not fit into this world. Mateo Ruiz, 35, the owner of the store inherited from his father, was showing a pearl necklace to a client when he noticed Sofia. His first impulse was to call security. The girl looked homeless and lost, but then he saw the tenderness with which she held her child. It was genuine. "Can I help you?" Mateo asked cautiously, approaching her. Sofia blushed, feeling the judgmental stares of the other customers. "Excuse me," she said. "I'd like to sell this ring." She extended the ring with a trembling hand. Mateo took it, expecting cheap costume jewelry, but as he examined it in the light, his eyes widened. The emerald was real, the setting was platinum, and inside, a mark was engraved. Mateo's heart beat faster. This mark belonged to the prestigious Tariani jewelry firm, which closed in the 1940s. Rings from that collection were legendary. "Madam," Mateo said, trying to remain calm, "could you tell me where you got this ring?" "It's from my grandmother," Sofia replied. "It's all I have, but my son needs formula, and I have no money." Sofia's voice faltered. Lucas cried again, and she began rocking him in desperation. Mateo looked at the ring, then at Sofia, then at the baby. An idea was forming in his mind, one that could change everything. Mateo then sat opposite Sofia, his gaze gently falling on the baby. "Today, a thought occurred to me. You possess a family treasure you weren't aware of, and I have a store that could truly use a fresh start. What if we were to combine our strengths?" "I don't quite understand," Sofia said, softly rocking Lucas. "I'd like to propose a partnership to you. You could become a co-owner of this jewelry store. I have the experience, and you possess something I've never had: a profound humanity, a heartfelt connection. Today, seeing you, I realize what this place has been missing. Our clients may be wealthy, but often their purchases lack a certain soul. You could bring the genuine authenticity we've been losing." Sofia looked at him as if he had spoken a dream. "Mateo, I don't understand anything about jewelry. I'm just a waitress without a job." "But you understand love?" he responded softly. "You know what it means to sacrifice everything for someone. You truly grasp the intrinsic value of things." Mateo gestured towards the ring. "This isn't precious because of its diamonds, but because of the deep story it carries. Do you understand that?" Sofia looked at Lucas, who had peacefully fallen asleep in her arms. "And what would that mean?" I would offer you the full 50 euros for the ring and a share in the store. You would learn the craft. I would teach you everything. And together, we could make this place truly special. The other customers ceased their hushed conversations, listening with a curious fascination. The discussion was unfolding in an entirely unexpected way. Why? Sophia gently asked. Why would you want to do this for me? Matteo looked out at the street, recalling the hesitant Sophia he had seen just moments before. Because today, you reminded me why my father cherished this work. Not for the money, but for the stories each piece of jewelry tells, for the precious moments we help create. Sophia felt a warmth in her eyes. I don't know if I can. Please trust me, Matteo said, extending his hand. Sometimes life guides people into our path who have the power to transform us. I truly believe you are one of those people. 2 weeks later, Sophia gazed into the mirror in the cozy little apartment Matteo had helped her find in central Madrid. She was dressed simply but with an undeniable elegance, her hair neatly styled, and for the first time in months, she felt a profound sense of hope. Lucas was sleeping peacefully in his new crib, well-fed and content. With the funds from the ring sale, Sophia had thoughtfully purchased everything the baby needed and arranged for a kind nanny during her working hours. Matteo awaited her in front of the jewelry store, a welcoming smile on his face, ready for her very first day as a partner. Sophia, he said, are you ready? I'm not sure if I can manage, she replied with a touch of nervousness, but I'm certainly going to try. As she stepped into the store, Sophia noticed subtle changes. A new inviting corner had appeared, furnished with comfortable armchairs and a small table adorned with magazines. What's this? She inquired. It's a quiet lounge area, Matteo explained. I thought mothers with children might appreciate a comfortable space where they can feel at ease. Sophia was deeply touched. Matteo had considered every thoughtful detail. We'll begin with the fundamentals, he said. Every piece of jewelry holds a unique story. Our true purpose isn't just to sell, but to help people discover the piece that perfectly resonates with their own personal narrative. The first client of the day was an elderly lady looking for a special gift for her granddaughter. Why don't you give it a try? Matteo gently suggested to Sophia. Sophia cautiously approached the woman. Good morning, she began, her voice soft. May I ask a little about your granddaughter? She's a medical student, very determined yet wonderfully romantic, the lady replied. Sophia considered this thoughtfully. Then, perhaps something that beautifully blends strength with tenderness? She carefully selected a simple yet elegant necklace with a delicate chain and a pendant shaped like a flower, a lovely symbol of resilience and grace. The woman's face lit up with a smile. It's perfect! Exactly what I was hoping for. After the client departed, Matteo looked at Sophia with genuine admiration. How did you choose so perfectly, so quickly? He asked. I simply thought about what I would have wished for at her age. A gift that gently says, you can be both strong and wonderfully feminine. Matteo understood then that he had made precisely the right decision. Later that day, a young couple arrived hoping to choose their engagement rings. Sophia listened attentively to their beautiful love story and helped them select rings that truly reflected their unique personalities. As they left, their faces were simply radiant with happiness. You know, you've helped us sell more today than I typically do in a whole week, Matteo remarked that evening. People truly trust you. They can see that you genuinely understand their feelings. Sophia looked around the store, which was beginning to feel like a cherished second home. Thank you for everything, she said. No, thank you, Matteo replied. You've truly breathed new life into this place. But Sophia didn't yet know that her story was about to take an even more extraordinary turn, for her grandmother's ring still held a secret, waiting to be gently uncovered. A month gracefully passed. The Ruiz Martinez jewelry store, its new name a beautiful reflection of their partnership, flourished. Sophia revealed a natural gift for understanding clients and their heartfelt desires, while Matteo expertly handled the technical intricacies and appraisals. One serene morning, as Sophia was carefully arranging a display, an elderly gentleman entered the store. He was impeccably dressed, leaning gently on a cane. He appeared to be in his late 80s with silvery white hair and eyes that seemed to hold countless stories. Good morning, he said, his voice carrying a distinguished air. I am Count Alahan Conde. I understand you recently acquired a ring from the Torriani collection. Sophia and Matteo exchanged a glance. Yes, Matteo replied. May I inquire how you came to know that? Because that beautiful emerald was once part of my family's cherished jewelry set. I have come to reclaim it. Sophia felt a sudden chill. Excuse me, what do you mean by belong to your family? The Count looked at her with an intense, knowing gaze. This emerald, along with a necklace and earrings, was my sister Elena's dowry in 1943. During the war, Elena and her family fled to escape the fascists. We never saw them again. Sophia's face paled. Elena Conde? Yes, my sister's name was Elena Conde. Why do you ask? Sophia slowly sat down. Because Elena Conde was my grandmother. A profound silence enveloped the room. The Count looked at Sophia with wide, disbelieving eyes as if she were a vision from the past. You? You are Elena's granddaughter? Yes. Grandma Elena Martinez always mentioned her maiden name was different, but she never shared what it was. The Count approached Sophia, tears welling in his eyes. My dear girl, I have searched for my sister for 80 long years, and you are my great-granddaughter. Sophia felt her legs tremble. Matteo gently supported her as she tried to comprehend this astonishing revelation. This means, Sophia began, her voice a whisper, you are the rightful heiress to the Conde fortune? Yes, the Count replied, his voice filled with emotion, including vast lands in Andalusia, a magnificent palace in Seville, and a significant share in Conde Industries. Sophia looked first at Matteo, then at the Count. But I'm just a waitress. You are a countess, the Count said proudly. And now that I have found you, I truly wish for you to embrace your rightful place within our family. Matteo gently took Sophia's hand. Sophia, this changes everything, but Sophia's gaze drifted to the jewelry store, to the fulfilling work she had built, to the meaningful life she had begun to create. No, she said firmly, it doesn't change who I am. Count Alejandro spent several heartfelt hours in the store, tenderly recounting the history of the Conde family and her beloved grandmother, Elena. During the war, Elena had married a brave young soldier named Jose Martinez, changed her identity to ensure her safety, and lived the remainder of her life quietly hidden away in a small village. Your grandmother was incredibly courageous, the Count shared. She gave up everything to protect her family. And now, that same spirit has been beautifully passed down to you. Sophia held Lucas gently in her arms, listening intently. Uncle Alejandro, she said, using the affectionate address with a sense of wonder, I truly appreciate everything you're offering me, but I have built my life here. My dear child, he responded, we are speaking of millions of euros, of a distinguished position in society. You could have anything your heart desires. Sophia looked at Matteo, who had been silently supportive throughout. Matteo, what do you think? I believe the decision is entirely yours, Sophia, he said. But please know, whatever path you choose, I will always be here to support you. Sophia stood and walked towards the display window, gazing out at Serrano Street. Uncle Alejandro, she began, just 2 months ago, I was a desperate mother, unable to afford milk for my son. Today, I have a job I deeply love, a partner who truly respects me, and I am building something meaningful of my own. She turned back to the Count. I will accept the inheritance, but only on one condition. And what would that be? That a portion of this fortune be used to create something truly beneficial, to establish a fund to assist single mothers facing difficult situations, and I would want Matteo to be my partner in all my endeavors. The Count smiled warmly. Elena would be so incredibly proud of you. You possess her generous heart. Matteo approached Sophia. Are you truly sure? You're stepping away from a completely different life, aren't you? No, Sophia said, gently taking his hand. I am choosing the life I truly wish to live, with the people I want by my side. A year gracefully unfolded. The Elena Conde Foundation lovingly helped hundreds of families in challenging circumstances. The jewelry store blossomed, becoming not just a place for exquisite jewels, but a cherished symbol of an ethical and compassionate business philosophy. Sophia and Matteo were united in a simple yet elegant ceremony, and little Lucas found a loving and devoted father in Matteo. You know, Sophia mused one evening as they were gently closing the store, when I first walked in here that day, I just thought I was going to sell a ring. And instead, Matteo prompted with a tender smile. And instead, I found a family, a future, and truly myself. Matteo kissed her softly. and I found the person who transformed my business into a beautiful mission. This story beautifully illustrated that sometimes the most desperate moments can indeed be the gentle beginning of incredible opportunities, and that the true value of a piece of jewelry lies not in its carats or price, but in the lives it so profoundly touches. Grandmother Elena's ring did so much more than simply provide milk for a child. It lovingly united two souls, brought a family back together, and nurtured a future of hope for countless individuals. If this story resonated with your heart and gently whispered to you that even in the darkest times, new hope can softly emerge, please leave a heart below. I would truly love to hear your stories. Have you ever unexpectedly discovered something precious within family heirlooms? Do you believe that difficulties can tenderly transform into new possibilities? Have you ever received kindness from a stranger in a moment of need? Please share your heartwarming experiences of transformation and second chances in the comments. If this story touched your heart, please offer a gentle like. If you believe that kindness possesses the power to truly change a person's destiny, subscribe so you won't miss more stories that beautifully prove miracles truly exist. Please share this video with anyone who needs to believe that even from shadows, light can softly bloom. Remember, often the most wonderful treasures are those we don't yet know we possess, and sometimes a gesture of despair can gently open the door to a future we could never have imagined. Life always holds a precious secret card waiting to be played when we least expect it. See you in the next video with a new story that will lovingly remind you of the magic hidden in every day of our lives. Sophia looked at him as if he had gone mad. Mateo, I don't understand anything about jewels. I'm an unemployed waitress. But you know what love is, he said. You know what it means to sacrifice everything for someone. You understand the true value of things. Mateo pointed to the ring. This is valuable not because of the diamonds, but because of the story it carries. Do you understand that? Sophia looked at Lucas, who had fallen asleep in her arms. And what would that mean? I will give you 50 €0 for the ring and a share in the store. You will learn the trade, I will teach you everything, and together we will make this place special. The other customers stopped whispering and listened with curiosity. The conversation was taking an unexpected turn. Why? Sophia asked. Why do you want to do this for me? Mateo looked out at the street where he had recently seen an uncertain Sophia. Because today you reminded me why my father loved this job. Not for the money, but for the stories each piece of jewelry tells, for the special moments we help create. Sophia felt tears in her eyes. I don't know if I can. Trust me, Mateo said, extending his hand. Sometimes life puts people in our path who can change us. I believe you are one of them. 2 weeks later, Sophia looked in the mirror in the small apartment Mateo had helped her find in central Madrid. She was dressed simply but elegantly, her hair neatly styled, and for the first time in months, she felt hope. Lucas slept peacefully in his new crib, well-fed and calm. With the money from the ring sale, Sophia bought everything the baby needed and hired a nanny for working hours. Mateo waited for her in front of the jewelry store with a smile, ready for her first day as a partner. Sophia, he said, ready? I don't know if I can handle it, she replied nervously, but I'll try. Upon entering the store, Sophia noticed changes. A new corner appeared with comfortable armchairs and a table with magazines. What is this? She asked. A lounge area, Mateo replied. I thought mothers with children might need a comfortable place to feel at ease. Sophia was touched. Mateo had thought of every detail. Let's start with the basics, he said. Every piece of jewelry has a story. Our job is not just to sell, but to help people find something that fits their own story. The first client of the day was an elderly lady looking for a gift for her granddaughter. Why don't you try? Mateo suggested to Sophia. Sophia timidly approached the woman. Good morning, she said. May I ask what kind of granddaughter you have? She's a medical student, very determined, but romantic, the lady replied. Sophia thought, then perhaps something that combines strength and tenderness. She chose a simple but elegant necklace with a sturdy chain and a flower-shaped pendant, a symbol of resilience and beauty. The woman smiled. Perfect, exactly what I was looking for. After the client left, Mateo looked at Sophia with admiration. How did you choose so quickly? He asked. I thought about what I would have wanted at her age, a gift that says, you can be strong and feminine at the same time. Mateo realized he had made the right decision. Later that day, a young couple came in to choose engagement rings. Sophia listened to their love story and helped them select rings that reflected their personalities. As they left, they beamed with happiness. Today, you sold more than I do in a week, Matteo said that evening. People trust you. They see that you truly understand their feelings. Sophia looked at the store, which she was beginning to feel was home. Thank you for everything, she said. Thank you, Matteo replied. You breathed life into this place. But Sophia didn't know that her story was about to take an even more incredible turn because her grandmother's ring held a secret that was ready to be revealed. A month passed. The Ruiz, Martinez jewelry store, a new name reflecting the partnership, thrived. Sophia showed a natural talent for understanding clients and their needs, while Matteo handled the technical aspects and expertise. One morning, as Sophia was tidying the display case, an elderly man in elegant clothes, with a cane, entered the store. He was about 80 years old, with white hair and eyes that seemed to have seen much. Good morning, he said in a noble voice. I am Count Alesian Conde. I heard you recently acquired a ring from the Toriani collection. Sophia and Matteo exchanged glances. Yes, Matteo replied. May I ask how you know that? Because that emerald was part of my family's jewelry set. I came to buy them back. Sophia felt a chill run down her spine. Excuse me, what do you mean by belong to your family? The Count looked at her intently. This emerald, along with a necklace and earrings, was my sister Elena's dowry in 1943. During the war, Elena fled with her family to escape the fascists. We never saw them again. Sophia paled. Elena? Elena Conde? Yes, my sister's name was Elena Conde. Why? Sophia sat down heavily. Because Elena Conde was my grandmother. A deafening silence fell. The Count looked at Sophia with wide eyes, as if seeing a ghost. You? You are Elena's granddaughter? Yes. Grandma Elena Martinez always said her maiden name was different, but she never said what it was. The Count approached Sophia with tears in his eyes. My dear girl, I've been looking for my sister for 80 years, and you are my great-granddaughter. Sophia felt her legs give way. Matteo supported her as she tried to comprehend what she had heard. This means, Sophia began, you are the rightful heiress to the Conde fortune? Yes, the Count replied, including lands in Andalusia, a palace in Seville, and a significant share in Conde Industries. Sophia looked first at Matteo, then at the Count. But I'm just a waitress. You are a countess, the Count said proudly, and now that I have found you, I want you to take your place in the family. Matteo took Sophia's hand. Sophia, this changes everything, but Sophia looked at the jewelry store, at the work she had built, at the life she had begun to create. No, she said firmly, it doesn't change who I am. Count Alejandro spent several hours in the store, telling Sophia the history of the Conde family and her grandmother Elena. During the war, Elena married a young soldier named Jose Martinez, changed her identity to avoid persecution, and spent the rest of her life in hiding in a village. Your grandmother was brave, the Count said. She gave up everything to protect her family, and now you have inherited that spirit. Sophia held Lucas in her arms, listening. Uncle Alejandro, she said, surprised to use that address, I appreciate everything you offer me, but I have my own life here. My girl, he said, we're talking about millions of euros, about social standing. You can have anything you want. Sophia looked at Matteo, who was listening silently. Matteo, what do you think? I think the decision is yours, but know that whatever you choose, I will support you. Sophia stood up and walked to the display case, looking out at Serrano Street. Uncle Alejandro, 2 months ago, I was a desperate mother who couldn't buy milk for her son. Today, I have a job I love, a partner who respects me, and I'm building something of my own. She turned to the Count. I accept the inheritance, but only on one condition. What is it? That we use part of this fortune to create something useful, to open a fund to help single mothers in difficult situations, and I want Matteo to be my partner in all my endeavors. The Count smiled. Elena would be proud of you. You have her generous heart. Matteo approached Sophia. Are you sure? You're giving up a completely different life, aren't you? No, Sophia said, taking his hand. I'm choosing the life I want to live, with the people I want by my side.